Hi, welcome to Chard Review. In the opening scene, we made a woman named Shirshir who was having a private moment with her fiancé, Shin Nguyen. During their interaction, she asks if he really loves her, to which he confirms. However, he mistakenly calls her Sha, which deeply hurts her heroine, causing her to leave abruptly. In the next scene, she finds herself on the rooftop of a hospital, grieving over the loss of her unborn child. At that moment, her stepsister Jing shows up and reveals that the baby she was carrying did not belong to Muhan. Jing confesses that she was the one who performed the vasectomy. And Mohan further admits to killing Shirshir's baby as well as her mother. After this confession, she pushes Shirshir off the building, seemingly to her death, but surprisingly, she wakes up unharmed in a hotel room. Confused by her miraculous survival, she checks her phone and discovers that she has traveled back in time to her wedding day. Initially, she is unable to comprehend the situation, but she soon manages to calm herself down. Realizing that she has a chance to rectify her past mistakes, she quickly jumps through the window and runs away from the wedding venue. Following this, she heads to her mother's gravesite. However, she is soon interrupted by Mohan, who shows up with a couple of his bodyguards. He urges Shirshir to return to the wedding venue in Mariam, but she refuses, claiming that he loves Shasha and not her. Though momentarily shocked, Mohan commands his bodyguards to bring her back forcibly. During this ordeal, she recalls their previous wedding when Mohan publicly humiliated her in front of all the guests. At present, the two are on the verge of getting married when Mohan receives an urgent phone call. However, instead of leaving immediately, he had done in the past, he decides to prioritize completing the marriage ceremony first. In an attempt to expedite the process, Mohan tries to forcefully kiss Shirshir. He also whispers that Shasha is already dead and that their marriage is merely a formality to him. Moments later, they are interrupted when Mohan's sister Shu and Jing walk in. Mohan questions their presence and she explains that Jing was being harassed by some thugs, so she wants Mulan to teach them a lesson. Hearing this, she believes that Mohan will leave, but instead carries her in his arms to his bedroom, instructing this bodyguards to handle the situation. Following this, Mohan starts getting intimate with Shirshir, which triggers her recollection of a past incident when she became pregnant with his baby. That time she shared the joyful news with him, but he denied the child's paternity and forcefully pushed her, resulting in a miscarriage. In the present she raises concerns about a potential pregnancy, but Mulan insists that he's incapable of fathering a child due to a vasectomy. However, she who is aware such surgery took place and that Jing had deceived him, confidently exposes the truth to him. Leaving him bewildered, unable to figure out who to trust, he resolves to investigate the truth by himself. The next day, while she is watching television at Mohan's place, his mother walks in. She then expresses her intention to file for divorce and leave the house as soon as possible. Overhearing the conversation, Mohan asserts that he will refuse to sign the divorce papers under any circumstances. As a result, she demands a significant amount of money in order to stay, and Wuhan immediately signs the check with the money she received. She decides to fulfill her late other stream of establishing a boutique. First, she starts searching for a suitable location. During this time, she bumps into her old friend Zishan, who has now become a famous celebrity since it's been such a long time. They decide to catch up over lunch at a nearby restaurant. However, their meeting is disrupted when Mohan enters the same restaurant and becomes envious. Upon seeing them together, he approaches them, forcibly pulls Shirshir towards them, asserting his control over her. However, she pushes him away and goes to sit closer to Jun, provoking Mohan into divorce. When he continues being rude, Jin intervenes and stands up for Shirshir. Shortly after, Mohan receives a phone call revealing that his medical report was tampered with, indicating that Shirshir was right. He is also presented with a picture of Shirshir kissing Sishen, which angers him even more. However, she claims that the picture had been edited and Zishan supports her, causing Mohan a lot of confusion. As a result, he decides to delve deeper into the matter before taking any action. In the next scene, we see she's mother-in-law teaming up with Jing. Ordered to insult our heroine, the evil woman accuses Shirshir of killing Shasha, who turns out to be she's own sister. Here, it's revealed that Mohan was deeply in love with Sasha and he married Shirshir only because she bears a striking resemblance to her late sister. After Shasha's passing, Jing made numerous attempts to keep Mohan away from Shirshir due to her own feelings for him. However, her efforts were consistently in vain. In the meantime, Chard continues her search for a suitable location. In the midst of this, she receives a message from Shu informing her that Mohandas should face, and he is asking her to take him home. The message triggers a flashback to how it happened before. As a result, she realizes this is a trap set by Jing and Shu. In her previous experience, she had innocently trusted Shu and went to the mentioned hotel. However, upon entering the hotel room, she detected an unusual odor that caused her to feel lightheaded. The room had been rented by Si Shun, who discovered Chard in a weakened state. He approached her to offer assistance, but at the same time she walked in with Mohan and some reporters, deliberately orchestrating a scandal now that she is aware of all this. She cleverly turns the tables against the evil woman. She discloses she's offensive messages to Mohan, prompting him to reprimand his sister. Additionally, Jean's involvement in the plot is also exposed, including her act of photoshopping the picture of Shan and Chard. After learning the truth, Mohan holds a press conference and clarifies the situation. Resolving the scandal, he warns the media against publishing any negative news about his wife, threatening legal action if necessary. Later that night, Mohan asks if she truly wants a divorce, to which she says yes. She believes that his love for her is solely based on her resemblance to Chard. She then asks him whether he thinks she killed her own sister, but Mohan is unable to provide an answer, leaving her to sartain. He just asked her to stay with him until he covers the true facts surrounding the matter. As days go by, she finally discovers an ideal location for her business and wastes no time establishing it. On the day of the grand opening, she stands on the street distributing flyers to passers-by. Unexpectedly, Mohan approaches her and extends his hand. And congratulations on her work. Later on, the duo returned home and engage in a conversation before retiring for the night. Through their discussion, it's revealed that Mohan and Chard had attended the same school and she had feelings for him since then. She used to take her lunch and secretly leave it on his table. One day, Mohan caught her in the act, prompting him to inquire about her name and about of shyness. She pretended to be Chard. Presently she discloses his long-kept secret to Mohan, who is taken aback by the revelation. However, he is unable to digest what he is hearing. As time goes on, she becomes fully dedicated to her new boutique. She hires a few assistants and gradually grows her enterprise. However, her mother-in-law, consumed with jealousy at Chard's success, decides to undermine her. One day she sends in her acquaintances as a customer who deliberately places a needle in one of the outfits. The so-called customer proceeds to try on the garment and exposes the hidden needle, using it as an opportunity to insult Chard's business and spread negative remarks. This makes Chard feel shattered, prompting her to seek solace at a nearby bar where she begins to drink beer to alleviate her distress. Thankfully, one of her assistants informs Mohan, who promptly rushes to the bar to take her home. In her intoxicated state, she fails to recognize Mohan and inadvertently speaks ill of him. She expresses her efforts to build a strong relationship with him, but feels he doesn't reciprocate her efforts. Mohan, upon hearing her words, simply smiles without uttering a word. The following day, during a conversation with Wuhan, she asks why he believes that she's responsible for Sasha's death. Mohan responds by revealing that Sasha mentioned she's name in her last breath, leaving her shocked and unable to respond. The scene then cuts to Mohan's birthday party, during which his mother and Jing once again collaborate to set a trap against Chard. When our heroine enters her room to get ready for the party, she discovers her closet in complete disarray and the dress she intended to wear for the party has been stolen. However, she who has experienced the incident in the past, appears to have cleverly placed a recording device. This time, the device captures the entire scenario, thwarting their plan. Later, at the party, Jing secretly spikes a drink and offers to Mohan. Once aware of its contents, he gulps it all down. Soon after, Mohan realizes that she is missing and begins searching for her. He eventually finds her outside the restroom and inquires about her prolonged absence. She explains that Jing had locked her in the washroom, but she somehow managed to escape. Eventually, the effects of the narcotics start to impair Mohan's self-control, leading him to forcefully advance upon Chard. On the other hand, Jane mistakenly assumes another person to be Mohan and ends up sleeping with the unknown individual when she wakes up the next morning. She is startled and screams in shock, struggling to comprehend how it happened. Here, it's revealed that King had intended to drug Mohan and lead him to her room to sleep with her, but her plan failed miserably. In the next scene, she accompanies Ishan to a showbiz party in order to promote her business. Shortly after, Mohan, out of nowhere, arrives at the gathering and approaches them. He then takes his wife along and kisses her in front of Zishan to make him jealous, just as he desired. Zishan's expression changes, yet he is unable to do anything about it later that day. Luhan takes Shirshir to their school in order to reminisce about their past memories. While wandering around the school premises, he apologizes to Shirshir for mistaking Shashers as true love all this time. He also says that he now realizes that he genuinely loves Shirshir. Since the beginning, days passed by and at one point Mohan discovers that Jing is the one responsible for Shasha's murder because she did not want anyone to come between her and him. With this newfound knowledge, Mohan provides the evidence of Shasha's murder in front of all the family members. She attempts to defend herself. But during the discussion, she inadvertently confesses that she orchestrated all of these actions to gain Mohan's love. Once the truth is revealed, the family members express their disappointment in Jing and she is ultimately handed over to the police. In the aftermath of these events, Mohan and Shirshir are seen strolling in the park, where he openly expresses his deep love and care for Shirshir, bringing her great joy. Convinced by his sincerity, she agrees to be his partner, letting go of the thoughts of divorce. With everything resolved, Mohan decides to marry Shirshir once again. Like before, she accepts his marriage proposal and the movie ends happily with the two of them sharing a romantic kiss. Please like and subscribe for more movie recaps. Thank you for watching.